that's the challenge, right? The challenge is just how much patience we have with ourselves and others to realize that you walked into an unbalanced situation. And now it's like, how much patience, how much time are we going to give it to get to that? Because the challenge is, I think we walk into a situation thinking it's perfect, whereas we should be walking into a relationship knowing it's imperfect.
Absolutely.
And we're going to learn and figure it out together. And I think that's what sets us up for failure, is because we walk into it going it's perfect, and deep down we know it isn't, but somehow we gloss over it. Whereas I find when I know we're going to fight, when I know we're going to argue, when I know there's going to be disagreements, that sets me up to develop the skills I need in order to navigate those things.
Yes.
But if I assume like, oh, we're never going to fight. And I always get that, right? We always meet someone who goes to me, I meet a friend who goes to me, Jay, we never fight. I'm like, how long have you been together? Because I don't know anyone who never fights. I get that no one has to get to like the heights of fights. Yeah, I get that. I get that. It doesn't have to be a heated fight. But I don't know anyone who doesn't disagree.
There you go. Okay,
right?
Yes.
Right?
I think that's important for people to understand.
Yeah, there's a difference.
Yes, you have some individuals out there that'll say arguing is normal, it's healthy. And to me, it's like, listen, if we're talking about arguing where we're now crossing disrespectful lines, negative lines, the way that the tone we take with each other, all these things, that's not healthy. Yes, it may happen. You should be prepared for that. But let's not normalize it and say we're just going to keep doing this and it is what it is. But you're right. To be with each other long enough and never have a disagreement, that's extremely rare, okay? Extremely rare. And I do think that, again, as you mentioned, we have to be ready for those moments. We have to understand. And going back to how we find that balance, especially as men, and even for women, it's recognizing. So, for example, if my partner is in a very heated moment, let's say she's in her masculine right now, all right? She's getting rough. Well, meeting her with more masculine is probably going to only make things worse. Yeah. This is the time for me to be compassionate, go to her, hold her, calm her down, bring her peace in that moment. You see? Because we need to balance each other out. Same thing on the flip side. If I'm all heated and I'm extra passionate, and then my woman now comes with that same energy, that's it. Now we're butting heads. This is her moment to say, no, let me now be the one to soften the moment up, bring that sweetness in there, and everybody calms down. So it's learning how to feed off of each other and recognize, okay, they're over here, let me bring it back over here. And now we can work from that point and we're both good.
The problem is that we all see compassion and sweetness and kindness in those moments as a weakness. We don't want to be that person because we see that as losing. We see that as giving in. We see that as us losing our power and strength in a relationship if we become the comforter or if we become the carer, right? Like that's a perception.
That is the perception. And we have to change that. That is the power position. So who is more powerful? The person that lets the energy dictate them how they're going to react, or the person that brings the energy and dictates how they're going to make this situation play out? So if I'm coming in to calm it down and being all sweet because I'm trying to bring peace here, I'm in the power position. I'm not losing anything. I'm going to gain more peace and happiness and harmony if I succeed in what I'm trying to do. So we have to get out of that mindset of this makes us weaker. And that is the big key of it. That's a big problem. That for a lot of women who struggle with their feminine energy, that's a big issue where they feel that being feminine is weakness. It's what got them taken advantage of and got them hurt. But I always say it's not the feminine energy that's the problem. It's who you give it to. Do they respect it? Do they honor it? And it's the same thing as a man. Does she respect your masculine? If she doesn't, then that might just be a sign you're with the wrong person. But don't stop being that guy, because the woman who's best for you is going to need that in those moments.
But that's exactly what it is that when people have been their best selves for the wrong person, that person brings out the worst in them.
Yes.
Right? Like when someone's been their best, loving, kindest self, but someone took advantage of it, that person now thinks next time I've got to be aggressive, I've got to be, powerful, I've got to be strong in this way. And I feel like that's kind of what most people are dealing with. We know that is that you're just dealing with a wounded version of someone,
yes,
not a healed version of someone.